the sun sets on another 90-degree day here in mid-August in Portland, Oregon. The lights have come on for tonight's USL Western Conference clash between Portland Timbers 2 and San Antonio FC here at Providence Park, with playoff positioning on the line. As we look at the Western Conference standings, Timbers 2 slightly in front of San Antonio, both teams jockeying for position. Portland Timbers 2 hoping to jump up into that fifth slot ahead of Reno 1868 with a result here this evening. And with that, we welcome you to the broadcast booth here at Providence Park alongside former Portland Timber Willie Anderson. I'm Fletcher Johnson. Willie, tonight starts a 5-match homestand for Portland, looking to put some separation between the Red Line and themselves when it comes to the playoff discussion.
Yeah, it is. It's a great opportunity, you know, but they're going to take it a game at a time, and tonight's the biggie. So they're going to try and get it done tonight, play well, play tough, get a great result, and then move on to the next one.
Coming into this evening, San Antonio FC lost this weekend against Sounders 2, but they beat Portland Timbers 2 back on June 2nd thanks to a 93rd minute goal to get a 2-1 result. A San Antonio team that likes to scrap things up a little bit will create challenges for Portland here tonight.
They will. They're a really physically mean, nasty team. I mean, they've had so many yellow cards I could stop counting. But it's, you know, you've got to deal with that. Some teams are like that. So that's the first thing that T2 have got to deal with. They've got a young and experienced team. Deal with that and then move on for the rest.
Well, we look at the players to watch tonight, and for Portland Timbers 2, we look at the man up top, Foster Langsdorff, his 10th, or he's looking for an 11th goal of the season tonight. He leads the team in his top 10 in USL.
Great, 10 goals is great. What I really like about him is his work rate. He works so hard up top, chasing people down, putting people under pressure. He's a great hold-up guy as well, so he's a great asset for T2.
Meanwhile, for San Antonio, 19-year-old Alex Bruce gets the start up top, just his 8th start of the season, and he has 3 goals to show for it.
It is, and it's going to be a tough game for the kids. You know, he's only 19, hasn't played there much. That's a tough position. You know, you've got to hold the game up, you've got to chase people down. I wish him luck. I'll be glad to see how he does.
Timbers 2 happy with the way they've played as of late, especially on the road, but looking to improve that home form with a chance to do it here tonight and over the course of the next 5 matches. Meanwhile, San Antonio unbeaten following a loss. Will that trend continue? We'll get you starting lineups and opening kickoff from Providence Park after this.
Jason Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Oh, what a finish for Alex Bruce! Sunday the other way. Oh, what a goal! Near post! Oh, what a finish by Charlie Ward! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Great save for striking as if you diving stop! Must-see TV.
A look at the Willamette River here that runs through downtown Portland as we are just about set for opening kickoff between Portland Timbers 2 and San Antonio FC, their second meeting of the season. Gives us an opportunity, though, to take a look at our head coach for Portland Timbers 2, Cameron Knowles, in his first year, assisted by Andrew Greger, and his goalkeeping coach, Aiden Brown. 11, 10, and 3 are Portland Timbers 2 on 33 points so far this season. Make that 36, excuse me. And we look at the starting 11 for T2 here this evening. 2 changes from the last time out. It will be Max Ornstill getting his first start of the season, just his 4th appearance in one of those center back spots, and Marvin Loria, who has been on fire as of late for this T2 side on the right side.
Yeah, you know, it's a big game for a lot of people. You know, I'm personally looking at Bombi. You know, I think he's on the edges. It's make or break for him, I think. He's got to really start putting out and producing. So.
Meanwhile, for San Antonio FC, they're led by head coach Darren Powell in his 3rd year. He's overseen this squad since they joined USL. 36, 22, and 36 in his career. In San Antonio this season, 9, 6, and 7 on 34 points. We take a look at their starting 11. 6 changes from the team that lost on the weekend to Seattle Sounders 2 up in the Seattle area. Matt Cardoni gets the start in goal, just his 3rd start of the season and first appearance since July 25th. Meanwhile, Omar Gordon will start out on the right side on loan from Montego Bay United and has 6 caps with the Jamaican national team.
You know, I think this team's all about team. They play together. They play together a lot. So they just all out for each other. I think they're just a really committed, tough team to play against.
San Antonio, as we mentioned, a team not afraid to mix things up a little bit. They have committed 328 fouls so far this season, so they like playing physical. We'll have to see how the young Portland Timbers side does with that. As we are just about set for kickoff, Chapalo Street is our head referee this evening. He'll be assisted by Billy Baldwin here on the near side, Eric Kruger on the far side, and our 4th official this evening is Ian Miller. San Antonio, 4 wins and a loss in their last 5. Meanwhile, T2 have gone loss, win, draw, loss, win. So looking to break that streak with another victory as we are underway here at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson and Willie Anderson with you. Portland Timbers 2 and San Antonio FC, a crucial match for playoff positioning in the Western Conference. As we mentioned, these two sides squared off back on June 2nd. It was a 2-1 win for San Antonio. Portland actually jumped out to the early lead thanks to an Augustine Williams penalty kick goal in the 50th minute, and then 2 goals in the final 7 minutes of the match. First, Gordon with an 86-minute goal, and then a 93rd minute goal from Alex Bruce, who gets the start up top tonight, was what got it done for San Antonio, as they will now look to sweep the season series. This is the 5th ever matchup between these two sides, with San Antonio holding a 3 wins, no losses, and 1 draw advantage in the series.
Just a quick note, I'm looking at the players and San Antonio. I don't know whether it's their white uniforms. They look huge. Huge.
Only 1 player under the age of 23 in the starting 11 for San Antonio tonight. Meanwhile, the majority of T2's starting 11 is 23 or younger.
You know, I think it'll take a while to settle down. Everybody feel each other out, try and knock it around, get a lot of touches in. Just feeling each other out.
T2, of course, coming off a 2-0 victory over Swope Park on the weekend. Jeremy Abobasi, a goal in the 7th minute, assisted by Marvin Laurie, and then Jack Barmby, a penalty kick in the 55th minute. It's a big road result for T2, who played very well on the road this season, all things considered. I mean, realistically, they have not played that well at home this year. Just 5-6-0 so far this season, combined between Providence Park and Merlo Field. But a lot of great results on the road for T2, but they do, in considering that this opens a 5-match homestand, they only play 2 more home matches after this stretch, need to get as many points as possible if they plan on making the playoffs.
Well, you know, you should make your home field your fortress, and they have an opportunity to do that, so that should be their first thought. Be really tough to play against at home. But, you know, I've just been trying to figure out what kind of systems they're playing, and looking at San Antonio when they have the ball, they're pushing 4 guys up top, which is kind of surprising, but maybe not. It's the way they play their system. But
it's a San Antonio team that only lost 4 games last season, went 17-4-11, 62 points, finished 2nd in the Western Conference, and eventually lost in the conference semis to Oklahoma City Energy on PKs. But they're a team that plays physical, and they don't tend to score a lot of goals. But to counter that, they also don't give up a lot of goals. They have a 0-goal differential right now, 27 scored and 27 against.
I think they're just a well-drilled team, so they're harder to play against, and it's easier to defend and attack. So I think they do that really well and just really play for each other. But I don't think they've got a lot going forward, because they take all their time defending.
Williamson takes the ball off of Cochran, then shoulder to shoulder with Cuomo, earns T2 a throw. Chapalo Street blows his whistle to call Eric Williamson to take the throw further back. Eventually taken by Nathan Smith, and his back pass wayward and out to touch. Was looking for Arturo Dispay. Could not find him, and it is a San Antonio throw, about 15, make it 20 yards from the end line here on the near side.
Hey, great talk, Matt. Arturo right. Arturo
we mentioned the weather in our opener. It's about 84 degrees right now. Kickoff humidity around 45%, so a little bit muggy in terms of typical Portland conditions. I know nothing like what folks down in San Antonio are used to, but certainly could play a role, especially given the fact as Lewis pass ends up at the feet of Lopez. I think that Darnell King, and eventually cleared away. Smoky weather due to wildfires in Washington and Oregon have led to really smoky conditions here in Portland over the course of the last week or so. We'll see if that plays any role here tonight as well.
Just a little note on the heat, how hot it is. Just think if it's 85 up here, it's going to be about 95 down there, so it'll be even hotter down on the field.
T2 have already moved the kickoff time for their weekend match against Sounders 2 this weekend from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. due to expected 90+ degree temperatures. That one will take place out at Merlo Field, as it's Hedrick who's able to shepherd that one across the end line in front of Langsdorf, and out for a goal kick for Cardoni.
I'm just keeping an eye on Cochran, who plays left defense for San Antonio. He plays like Powell plays for the Timbers. He attacks. He's made about 4 runs already, and he looks like he likes to do that. So he's somebody I would definitely keep an eye on if I was T2. He just sneaks in quietly. He's on his way now. He's got all this room. Yeah, he's gonna, here he goes. He's got the ball now because he's got all that room and time. And there he goes, he's gone again, so.
San Antonio poking and prodding here early. Cochran's worn the captain's armband on more than a few occasions for this side. Not wearing it tonight, as that honor went to Ryan Rushendell. As Loria dispossessed by Rushendell. A bit of confusion here as to what Chapalo Street is calling. Looks like we're calling a foul on Portland. Or was the offside flag up? Let's take a look.
Could have been 4 fouls there. I think I'm trying to figure out which one.
Very bizarre. I think what had actually potentially happened was the ball forward from San Antonio. There was a player offside. A very late flag came up from Eric Kruger on the far side. That's what Chapalo Street was calling it back for, it looks like. In the end, it is a T2 free kick. And Alex Mangles making his 10th start of the season. Gets it over midfield and controlled right now by San Antonio. Murphy plays central for Rodriguez. Cut out by Zambrano. Now Lewis dribbles forward, plays into space for Batista on the far side. One touch over to Barmby, his first real action tonight. Goes central to Williamson, one touch back to Barmby. And Portland with a bit of possession here in the 8th minute. His through ball from Barmby picks out Williamson. No targets in the box. Hedrick slides down and knocks it off of Williamson, out for a goal kick.
You know, that was a really good ball from Barmby. But you know, when he picked it up, there was nobody in the box to play it to. You know, they got to get people in the box. If you get in there, well, he's in a great position here. But look in the middle, there's nobody in the box. You've got to get somebody breaking their neck to get in there to get on the end of stuff like that.
Nifty touch by Murphy to get it around the T2 defense, but eventually cut out by Lewis and played back to Mangles. Mangles spent 2016 with Tulsa Roughnecks, made 17 appearances, led the USL in save percentage at 79%. 3 of his 4 clean sheets have come on the road. He'll look to add another here tonight against San Antonio. Zambrano to Williamson. And back to Dispay, making his 6th start of the season. Under pressure from Rodriguez. Lays back to Smith, who will switch the point of attack into space for Batista, who's well forward from his left back position. Square to Barmby, who has it at his feet once again. Barmby, of course, the Leicester City product in his 3rd year with Portland. This ball forward, a foul called on Williamson. As King was chasing it down. Darnell King, the 27-year-old from Tampa, Florida. 5 assists, 1 goal. He likes to get forward from that right back spot.
You know, after 10 minutes, I'm really liking Williamson for T2. He looks like he's really confident. He likes to get the ball. He's doing little things with it, taking up good positions. Looks full of confidence. He's had a good opening 10 minutes.
Eric Williamson played in more of a withdrawn role in the early part of the season, has been moved into more of that attacking midfielder role. Served him well. He's been able to create a lot of things in the attack for Portland. The Alexandria, Virginia native, Eric Williamson, was acquired for general allocation money and targeted allocation money, as well as an international roster spot in a 2018 draft pick. So gives you a sense of what this Timbers organization thought about him. He is a player on contract with the MLS Timbers, making his 15th start tonight with T2. Loria back for Zambrano, over the top for Smith. Smith sends the cross in the direction of Barmby, who gets his foot to it. Then Hedrick comes over to knock it out of the 18-yard box. Barmby picks it up there. Back to Loria, left boot, touch to Zambrano. Tries to play it across diagonally the 18-yard box to Langsdorff, and then Zambrano fouls Lopez.
This is a really good cross. It just cannot pick Barmby out. It's really close. Unlucky. That was a really good move.
Rushendell gets us back underway. Mentioned Mikey Lopez. Spent the last 2 years with New York City FC and was the 14th pick of the 2013 Super Draft by Sporting Kansas City. Has MLS experience, and he certainly brought that to this San Antonio side. Loria's touch too heavy, and Rushendell tracking back wins it away, but has to play it out to touch as he knocks it forward, and quickly thrown in by Smith. 12th minute, no good opportunities for either side as of yet. Williamson plays out for Barmby. First time cross on the ground, cleared away by Hedrick.
That's another great move. Barmby gets in really good position. There's only one man in the box to try and pick out. That's really tough to do.
Lewis gets around a couple defenders. Williamson plays central for Barmby, top of the box. Tries to touch it with his left boot around King. But King was up to the task. Now Lopez's square pass blocked away by Williamson. Played back to Cardoni, who under pressure from Loria punts it across midfield. Ornstill wins the header, his first start of the season, Max Ornstill. And Williamson can't quite track it down on the far side as it just barely rolls out to touch.
You know, this is a really good spell for T2. They're finding space. You know, they're finally getting down the left, because for the first 10 minutes, everything was up and down the right. So they're finding a little bit of joy over that side. So they're looking a little bit better now. They've settled down a bit.
Lewis's header finds Williamson, who's able to beat out Rodriguez and Hedrick. Square to Loria, 30 yards from goal. Takes the shot, deflected away. Picked up by Murphy. Tries to play it off of Langsdorff. Out to midfield to Dispay. Loria, 3 men around him, forgets to take the ball with him. And Lopez will bring it the other direction.
That's what San Antonio do really well. They mug you a lot because you got everybody chasing the ball down, and you got to keep your eyes in the back of your head all over the place because they're going to be hustling, hassling you all over the field.
As we're nearly a quarter hour in, T2 8th best in USL with 9 clean sheets so far this season. Kendall McIntosh has some. Alex Mangles has his share as well. Look to add another one here this evening as Barmby's pass out wide for Batista, too far out in front of him. Langsdorff pressuring high. San Antonio does well to dribble out. That's Omar Gordon. Was able to help San Antonio break the pressure.
Wide, wide.
King all the way forward in the attack. Now Gordon picks it up down near the end line. Cross comes in. Dispay clears away to Zambrano.
That was really good defending. He got himself in the right position to cut off the cross. That was a good move from San Antonio. It was a good cross as well, but well defended by T2.
Andre Lewis has played a much bigger role here later in the season, making his 17th start. Was a 7th overall draft pick in the 2014 MLS Super Draft by Vancouver Whitecaps FC. He's been here for the past couple seasons, made 13 appearances last year for T2, so already surpassed that here in 2018 as Zambrano's cut down from behind by Maxi Rodriguez.
This is a really good move. Plays him a great ball. This is a good cross. Good defensive play. See how he picked his spot, cut the ball out. Really good defense. Good move too.
So at this time, we're going to take a match break due to the air quality advisory. I'd mentioned this right at the start of the match. Smoky weather here in Portland over the last week due to wildfires in Oregon and Washington. As you look over the downtown cityscape, you can see the haze. And with the amount these players are running, certainly important as we are under a very bad air quality advisory here in Portland and plan to be here for the next few days. It's unfortunately, Willie, become a tradition here in Oregon over the last 3-4 years where we get to the month of August and due to the wildfires, the air quality can be pretty poor.
It can, and you know, it's funny, I was sitting at home a couple of nights ago and my wife says, "Can you smell that fire?" And I'm thinking, no, I can't smell it. And it was, you could taste it. And the smoke just came in from all these fires we're having around here. And yeah, it's pretty bad. I was walking my dog, I live up in the hills, and I looked down on downtown about 8 o'clock this morning, and you couldn't see it. It was just sheer haze. You know, so.
You're used to that in the wintertime with the fog, but certainly not in the summertime when it's usually quite beautiful here in the Pacific Northwest. Well, San Antonio, bit of a tough road to climb here tonight. They're just 2-4-4 on the road this season and 1-3-1 in their last 5 road matches. You counter that with the fact that following a loss this season, they're 3-0-2. Something we'll have to give here tonight as they lost to Seattle Sounders 2 over the weekend, 3-2. Gave up 2 goals in, well, 1 goal in the second half, a goal as well in first half stoppage time. But San Antonio, as we mentioned, likes to dirty things up. They're 4th in the league with 328 fouls conceded. It's been a relatively open match thus far. Haven't seen too many fouls on either side as Chapalo Street blows his whistle after this San Antonio foul, and Loria will get us restarted. He'll play short to Lewis, 30 yards from goal. Back to Loria, under pressure from Lopez, gets around him, gets around another man, corner of the box goes down. Chapalo Street waved his finger saying, "I'm not giving you a penalty kick there in the corner of the box for that." We'll take a look here in a few minutes at our next stoppage, but momentarily San Antonio will bring it forward. Over the top for Gordon, who settles in front of Dispay. Dispay aggressive, gets a touch to it. Gordon trying to let it run out across the end line for a corner kick, but the ball stopped on the line. Eventually has to play back to King, central for Rodriguez, and back to King. Now to Gordon. He'll send the cross in after a prep touch. Batista with an important header, and then Murphy held onside by Batista, and important work by Barmby to track back and clear that one away, and actually said it deflected off of Murphy last for a goal kick.
You know, Barmby got pretty lucky because he's ball watching, and all of a sudden he realizes my man's wide open, and then he put on the sprint and made a great defensive tackle, but he was caught sleeping a little bit there and got away with it, but he made up for it in the end. But I'd really like to see that fall in the box for T2. For me, it looked that could have been a penalty, so I don't know.
Bruce can't control the touch forward from Gordon. And T2 now look to bring it the other direction. Hedrick tries to play it out off of Langsdorff, but Langsdorff does well to earn the throw on the far side. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter.
You know, I'm really enjoying watching T2. You know, they're playing really well. They're looking good. They've got, good, skillful players that look like they're really confident, knocking the ball around well, controlling it well. And, I thought it'd be a really physical game, but I don't think San Antonio can get too close to T2 the way they're playing. So I think that's one of the reasons it's not as physical. So, but, that could change.
They've certainly looked creative, have T2 here through the first 20 minutes. Trying different ideas to break down this San Antonio defense that has played pretty darn well through 22 matches this season, having only allowed 27 goals.
And just watching the way they play and watch how committed they are, I can see that. They're going to be a really tough team to score against. The key is just don't let them score. And then you've got an uphill battle after that. So
here comes Lewis with a full head of steam out wide to Barmby. Barmby defended by King. First time cross into Loria, who touches and controls, plays it central for Langsdorff behind him and cleared away. San Antonio on the counter. Long switch over to Murphy, who can't control with his right boot. This ball says stayed in play. Mangles forced into a save on the cross. That pretty much looked clearly to have gone out, but Billy Baldwin here on the near side said that it did stay in play, and in the end, no harm done.
Hey, where's VAR when you need it?
Well, Murphy did well to keep it in play. Won a national title, or excuse me, made the national title game with Clemson in 2015, making his 7th straight appearance for San Antonio tonight. Gordon dispossessed by Zambrano. Now has it at his feet once again, out to Williamson. Touches around Gordon, who nearly fouls him, and then out wide to Barmby on the far side. Barmby has Langsdorff and Loria in front of him. Loria decides to come out. He picks out Langsdorff, top of the box, takes the shot on frame, but not much on it, and easy stuff for Cardoni.
They're playing really, really well. They're looking really good. I'm liking it. They're finding space. They're creating opportunities. Looking good.
Cochran. Back to Rushendell. He'll switch the point of attack over to Hedrick. Cyprian Hedrick, the Cameroonian native, previously with Oklahoma City Energy and Sporting Kansas City, making his 11th appearance here this evening. Has the ball at his feet. Started the last 10 matches of the season, has gone the full 90, so he's been a big performer for Darren Powell and the San Antonio side here as of late, including that recent 4-match win streak that ended last weekend against Seattle Sounders 2. He'll play out to King, Team of the Week performer a couple weeks ago. Had a goal August 4th against Los Dos, his first of the season, 5 assists to go along with it. Was a 2014 NASL Best 11 selection with Fort Lauderdale. San Antonio with a bit of the ball. Now Murphy has it at his feet. Back for Rodriguez. Man out wide to King. King defended by Barmby. One step over, touches once, twice. A deflected cross in, and Alex Mangels quickly off his line to pick up. He'll roll out for Williamson. Could the counter be on for Portland? Williamson will hold it up and play back to Smith. He had Barmby making the run on the far side, decided instead to play to Smith and slow things down.
Yeah, I think, you know, he wanted to go fast, but they come back so well, San Antonio. They got all the guys so quickly behind the ball. I thought it was a good move, you know, hold it, don't give it away, let's keep it and go from there. So sometimes, you know, it's on to go really quickly. Sometimes it just peters out, and you just got to be smart about it and keep possession.
All forward action for T2, especially from the attacking players. You certainly like to see that, putting pressure on that San Antonio defense. Haven't found their way through yet, but have certainly grown into this match, especially over the last 5 to 10 minutes with a few different opportunities that they've created. Just haven't been able to find that final pass or the final shot. Out wide for Cochran. Bit of a mishit ball. Smith gets lucky with a header that it works its way around Cochran, and now springs Loria. Loria running at Cuomo. Gianluca Cuomo able to slow down Loria enough. Plays to Williamson, top of the box. Now out wide to Lewis. Lewis, one touch, shoots, blocked by Hedrick. Only as far as Batista. And T2 happy to settle out back near midfield.
You know, for a young team, which T2 are, they're looking really mature. I mean, they don't look like kids out there. You know, they look like good grown men. So
that's certainly something that Cameron Knowles has talked about consistently throughout the course of the season. Development through success. This team has had a large amount of success this year, especially on the road, as that cross comes in from Diz Pay, eventually knocked back to him. But you've started to see that development throughout the course of the season. And it really started at the beginning of the year, to be fair. This is a T2 side that played their first 5 on the road, performed very well, nearly had as many points on the road through those 5 matches as they did all of last season. They've really only grown from there. I think if there's anything that's been disappointing, it's been the fact that they haven't got as many results at home as they would like, as Gordon is taken down 25 yards out. Chapalo Street will issue a yellow card to Arturo Diz Pay. So the first caution of the night goes to Arturo Diz Pay, and a dangerous shooting opportunity for San Antonio here in the 27th.
Here. He's strong, he knocks people over, and he just about, it is a foul. I mean, he missed the ball, the guy was gone by him, so, but that was a really good piece of play.
First yellow card of the season for Diz Pay. And now the center back will have to carry that yellow for the final 64 minutes of this match.
You know, I remember Gordon from last year. I was impressed with him then. He loves to go at people, take them on, just like he did then. I think he's a handful when he gets up and running because he's so big and strong.
It'll be Gordon to strike with his right boot, hits it and puts it in the back of the net. San Antonio has found the opener in the 28th minute. A diving Alex Mangels couldn't get on it, and Gordon has picked up his 4th goal of the season.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again. I think it was a good free kick. I don't think it was a great free kick. So, I don't know. I'd just like to see her again. I don't want to. Oh, is that a deflection? Yeah. I don't think that was a great free kick. I think the goalkeeper might like to have that again. But it counts, but I don't think it was the best free kick I've ever seen.
I don't know. It looks like Mangels did get a right hand on it. Not enough, though. Gordon did well to curl it around the wall. And in the end, it's an opener for San Antonio in the 28th minute. Now T2 chasing the match.
Which is against the run of play. You know, T2, for me, have been the better team. They've created the better chances. Well, you know, the best thing that could have happened for San Antonio is to go in front, and make it really hard for T2 now.
And Chapalo Street quick with a whistle once again on T2. Certainly, there was an opportunity 15 minutes ago where Marvin Loria had the ball, corner of the box on the far side, went down. Chapalo Street was not having any of it. A couple quick whistles here from the center official in favor of San Antonio. Cameron Knowles put his hands on top of his head after the last one. Happened right in front of him. And San Antonio searching for a second. Rodriguez tries to play over the top for his teammate. And now the ball at King's feet. He'll go central for Rodriguez. He has Gordon out wide. We'll use him. Lopez is up there as well. Gordon sends the cross in. Cleared away by Dispay, only as far as the top of the box, and then a through ball from King in the direction of Lopez, just too far out in front of him, can't control it. Mangles collects.
You know, this is a character builder for T2. Right now, they've got to calm it down, slow it down, get possession, keep possession, and try and take a bit of the heat out of the game. They just got to calm down for 5 minutes, get back into it. They haven't been playing badly. They've been playing really well. Better team. Just keep at it.
Langsdorff outside of the right boot tries to find Barmby making a run into the corner of the box. Langsdorff still working to try and win it back for Portland. And San Antonio does well to clear. You talk about how big the opening goal is for San Antonio. It's a team that hasn't lost when they've scored first. They're 6-0-1 when scoring first this season. Williamson in front of Hedrick, plays for Lewis in space, corner of the box. Pressure comes, he'll play central for Zambrano. Zambrano touches in the direction of Langsdorff. It was behind him in the direction Langsdorff was running. Murphy wins the header, make that Cuomo wins the header. And San Antonio clears the midfield. Bruce settles and then tries to play outside for Murphy, too far out in front of him. We're in the 30th minute now, another air quality advisory break. Really breaks up the action of the match, Willie. I mean, I understand why they have to do it. It's important to make sure that the players remain healthy, and we do have bad air quality here, but certainly can disjoint a match when you're taking breaks this often.
Yeah, you know, it's they've got to have them, so they've got to have them. But the goal, you know, I thought the guy did great. Gordon coming out the back, you know, halfway line, he took people on, he ran at them, he went by a couple, and then he just went by the other. But, you know, I don't think this is, it's an okay free kick. You know, I don't think it was a great free kick. I mean,
tell me why. What do you want to see differently?
What you watch, it doesn't go very high, and they ain't got that much pace on it. I mean,
so is that a problem with the wall? The wall not being in the right place? Did Mangles not set his wall up well enough?
No, I think the wall's in the right place. I don't think, you know, it went over the wall that high. But I fault the goalkeeper. I mean, I've got to be honest. I thought he could have done a way better job at that. And I shouldn't say that. I'm not a goalkeeper. You know, I wouldn't play goal to save my life. And, you know, but I don't know. I wasn't impressed with the goal. How's that? Is that better?
Well,
and, you know, it come at a really bad time.
Yeah.
And now they got this break, which kind of slows the game down. Really suits San Antonio. And from here on out, you know, this game really suits San Antonio. So it's just made it a lot harder for T2.
Foul called on Rauschendahl as he took down Loria. Two teams with double-digit undefeated streaks square off on Saturday night as Eastern Conference leader FC Cincinnati hosts the Charleston Battery at Nippert Stadium. Tune in for all the action on ESPN Plus at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific.
You know, see that they're playing really well. 1-2 passes, quick passes, really accurate.
Langsdorff wins the header, can't turn it on frame though. He was caught in between two San Antonio players. He'd found that sweet spot, but couldn't quite direct it on frame.
You know, just a little bit too far high from him, a little bit beyond him. But, you know, it was a great cross from Barmby, just a little bit more accurate and it would have been great. But, you know, if I'm T2's coach, I'm thinking, hey, we're doing well. You know, we come in at half-time. I don't think there's a lot he can say. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. You know, this is the kind of team they are. They're going to play like this. They're not going to change at all. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and, you know, we hopefully get a break and we can get back into this game. When I say that they can get back into it, they've never been out of it. You know?
Yeah, so. They haven't. They have not been out of it. They've played well here through the first half hour plus. Just haven't been able to create enough in front of San Antonio's net. Really just one opportunity. That was a Langsdorff shot in the 23rd minute that really didn't have anything on it, and Cardoni just had to go down to a knee and scoop it up relatively easily.
Well, think about it. You know, I can't remember Cardoni making a save. And we had a lot of possession. We had a lot of second chances.
Gordon dribbling at Batista into the 18-yard box, cuts it back. Reinforcements come, and he plays back to King. Cameron Knowles screaming at the fourth official. Ian Miller felt that Lewis got fouled.
Keep him wide. Right, Nate.
And San Antonio keeping the pressure up in the T2 defensive third. Dispay clears to Williamson. Now 4v4 if T2 hurry. Williamson has Langsdorff to his left. Will use him corner of the box. Plays back for Williamson. One touch. Goes down in the box. Headed on by Cochran. Chapala Street once again wagging his finger, saying no penalty kick. In the end, ends up for a T2 throw.
That was close for a penalty. Here we go. Look, this, he catches it. That's a foul. I mean, I don't know what more you got to do to foul somebody in the box.
So 2 shouts for a PK from Portland here in the first 35 minutes, neither given by Chapala Street. Cameron Knowles chatting with Ian Miller, wondering why there was no foul called there. He is not happy.
I don't blame him. You know, for me, I don't know how much more you can tackle somebody in the box, miss the ball, get the player, and not get a penalty. I mean, I don't understand that.
Interesting to note that Hedrick was the player involved in both potential penalty kick shouts for Portland. Well done by Nathan Smith to keep that ball in on the end line. Controls back to Loria. Loria dribbles around Murphy, still dribbling forward, and loses the ball. It's Cuomo who cut it out. Loria still down top of the 18. T2 quickly back in possession. Williamson now in space dribbling forward. Williamson gets around Hedrick, but then Hedrick does well to win it. Lopez hits it out for Rushendell, and then Gordon tries to play out wide to Murphy. It's cut away by Smith. Smith loses out though to Lopez, and then Smith is going to get a yellow card. Chapala Street a bit back and forth here. Certainly a lot more favoritism, you could say, towards San Antonio with the cards at the very least. And the fans here in Providence Park not happy with the center official.
Well, it was a little bit of a late tackle, so I don't think it was a yellow card, but this is a foul.
And you look at Cameron Knowles chatting with Ian Miller. They have had some heavy dialogue in the last 5 to 8 minutes. As T2 feels they have 2 legitimate penalty kick shouts that Chapala Street waved off. Have to say that Chapala Street was in a good position on both to make the call, but decided against doing so in both situations. Long ball forward from King towards Gordon, well far out in front of him and across the end line for a goal kick. Cameron Knowles has experienced a fair amount of success in this, his first year as manager of T2. 11 wins, 10 losses, and 3 draws. Previously was an assistant coach with the MLS Timbers for the last 6 seasons.
You know, I met the coach yesterday just to chat about tonight's game, and I was totally impressed with him. I liked his style, his philosophy, and he had a good sense of humor too, which I think to be a coach you need it, you know. But yeah, I was impressed with him. You know, and I wish him a lot of luck. You know, he seemed a really nice guy. So yeah, go for it. And, you know, he's done a really good job with these guys because, you know, they're all young and experienced. And for me, I think they're playing really, really well. You know, they've had a couple of shouts for a penalty, didn't get it. But they're still going, they're knocking it around, playing really well.
And they've had stretches of the season where they have played very well. Batista with it, corner of the box on the far side, advanced from his left back position. Now Zambrano will switch the point of attack over to Smith. It bounces over his head, though, off the turf. Took a big bounce, and Smith just couldn't quite control it. We mentioned this T2 side has only lost consecutive matches once this season. It was back in mid-June, OKC Energy in Colorado Springs. The unfortunate part about that was both of those matches were at home. So it was an opportunity really to pick up points, and speaks to the frustration that Cameron Knowles has had with his team to not pick up points at home when they have performed so well on the road this season. We mentioned 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw in their first 5 matches, which were all on the road. And then as of late, 2 wins and a draw in their last 3 on the road.
Sometimes it's way easier to play on the road, which may sound ridiculous, but you get a lot more room. Teams go at you, leave spaces. When they come and play at your place, they really lock up shop, pull everybody back, and make it really hard.
Here comes Murphy dribbling forward, gets around Dispay, will take the shot, not much on it, and well wide of Mangle's right post. The nice thing, though, for Portland, a chance to remedy that. 5 straight at home, not off to the start that they wanted tonight, at least in terms of the scoreboard. But if you can pick up, you know, you think 10 points in this 5-match stretch, it's going to go a long way to securing a playoff position at the end of the year.
And it is, you know, and what else it will do, it'll give them that confidence going into the run-in to get it done. So
Lopez fouls Zambrano here.
Yeah, now that for me is a foul. I've seen 3 or 4 like that haven't been called, so I don't understand that. But that was a foul.
Yep, that one was certainly a foul. And a yellow card issued to Mikey Lopez. So 3 yellows in the first half, 2 for Portland, 1 for San Antonio. This one to Mikey Lopez. He's gone the full 90 in the last 13 matches for San Antonio. Restart cleared away by Cuomo. Lewis back with it at his feet. He has Batista on the overlapping run. Will use him. Cross comes in towards the back post, and Foster Langsdorff has his 11th goal of the season and has leveled the tally in the 42nd minute.
This is a really good goal. This grim determination to win that. Takes it out, waits, plays him in, great cross, and he hits it perfectly. He hits it with a bit of bend, keeps it flat, and knocks it to the opposite direction. He takes it really, really well. This is not easy to do, and he does it. Little bit of bend on it. Great goal, and they deserve that.
First assist of the season for Lamar Batista, 11th goal for Foster Langsdorff. Top 10 in scoring coming into tonight will only improve that positioning with that goal.
You know, I think that the joy they're going to get tonight is down that left-hand side. They're getting a lot more room because Gordon, who's playing on the right-hand side for San Antonio, does not like to defend, and he's not coming back. So there's leaving all that room in there for Barnby and Batista to get in there. So I think that could be really good place for them to work on the end of this half and going into the second.
You really sense that the energy level has risen from T2 after that goal. Barnby does well to control in front of Gordon. Eventually falls to Lewis. Zambrano works his way around a couple defenders, gets back to his feet. Chapala Street looked ready to blow his whistle. Plate advantage instead. Barmby takes the shot. That thing was knuckling. And Cardoni did well to keep that one out of his net in front of him. Spilled it for a second and then collected.
Yeah, you know, that was you're right, he knuckled it. Yeah, there we go again. Watch this. When you say knuckle it, you kind of kick it on the top of the ball and makes it dip.
Timbers, too, have looked lively here in the final 5 minutes of the first half. Pick up an equalizing goal and nearly a second from the left foot of Jack Barmby.
You know, I really enjoy watching them. You know, these young kids don't care. Great ability, giving it everything they've got. Getting knocked back all the time, but keep coming back.
Flag came up for offside. Chapala Street played advantage instead. Arturo Dispe yelling at Chapala Street as to how he didn't blow his whistle for offside. It's been a wild match for our center referee Chapala Street here this evening thus far. A couple shouts for a penalty from T2, a couple of bizarre late offside calls, and then decides not to call that one as Batista heads back to Mangles, and we're into the final 30 seconds of regulation here at the end of the first half.
The only word of advice I can give to T2 in regards to the referee, sometimes the more you chip at the referee, the more determined he gets to not give you anything. So I think they've got to really recognize that and maybe just calm down and leave him alone, and maybe he'll feel better for you. So, but it's easy me standing up here saying that, and I'm not down there frustrated.
We'll play 5 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half, and we are into the first minute. 5 minutes added because of the 2 air quality advisory breaks in the 15th and 30th minutes, as well as a couple other stoppages in play. Batista does well to cut it out in front of Gordon, but Gordon picks it up before it runs out to touch. Dribbling at Batista, forced to play backwards, and then Gordon taken out by Eric Williamson. And Chapala Street not afraid to blow his whistle there. And this will be a restart from a dangerous position, about 28 yards away from goal on the far side.
You know, Gordon's really hard not to foul because he's always going 90 miles an hour and he has no idea where he's going. And if he runs into you, it's a foul. So he's tough to play against. And he's a little battle axe too. Look at him, he's built like a little battle axe.
Important set piece here for T2 to defend. Want to maintain this score line and head into the break at the very least tied at 1. Ball comes in from Rodriguez, crossed in. Gordon unmarked right near the penalty spot. Lewis and others looking over at Billy Baldwin, asking for the offside flag to be up. Does not go up, and in the end, a goal kick for Portland.
You know, that was a great opportunity for Gordon. He was all unmarked in the middle there on his own. All he has to do is hit the target and he could most probably score.
Smith picks it up. Will send the cross in towards a penalty spot. Williamson wins the header, and Cardoni with an impressive save to keep the scoreline level.
I love that. That was in a heck of a move. Watch this. This is a heck of a cross. And watch this header. Look at that. Oh, he sticks it anywhere. Brilliant cross, driven. Gets a full head on it. If he hits it, heads it anywhere else besides straight at the keeper, he scores.
Here comes Loria, corner of the box, sends the cross in towards Batista. Important header win by Cuomo. Only as far as Williamson. We're in the 3rd minute of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Williamson works his way around a man, headed on by Langsdorff and cleared away by Cochran. Headed on by Gordon out to midfield where Smith will pick it up. Dangerous opportunities for Portland. Batista, the pass forward from Lewis, he can't control, and now Ornstill in a foot race with Gordon, and Gordon will win that foot race, and then Ornstill fouls Gordon, corner of the box. Another foul that Omar Gordon has earned, the 26-year-old Jamaican native, has put in some work here in the first half, and another dangerous opportunity in this back and forth match here at the end of the first half.
He's so strong, Gordon. He just bodies you off the ball. And there is a foul. He pulls him down there, but give credit to Gordon. He's quick, he's big, he's strong, and he just bullies you all over the place.
Rodriguez will strike it with his right foot. 4 men, and a 5th running in for San Antonio into the box. Sent in towards the back post. Rodriguez will be disappointed with that effort as it harmlessly rolls across the end line.
You know, this is an exciting game right now. End to end, chances been made. You know, I was thinking, please take Gordon off. Hopefully he gets tied, because he's the only guy they've got going forward. You know, he's dangerous, he's big, he's strong, he's quick.
Smith fouls Murphy, who goes down hard in his own half. We're into the 5th minute of stoppage time. And Zambrano issued a yellow card by Chapalo Street, so a 3rd yellow card handed out to a T2 player here in the first half. Have to say that majority of these matches we've called, officials have done very well. Seems like the only time you talk about it, the officials, is when they don't do something right. But Cameron Knowles at this point simply shrugging his shoulders, kind of in disbelief at what's taking place.
Say when a referee's had a great game, you don't even know he's out there. You know this referee's out there. He's in the middle of everything.
We're past the 5 minutes. And the whistle will come from Chapalo Street to end the first half, and an entertaining first half at that. Fair amount of chances for both sides. You look at Langsdorf, who scored the equalizing goal. On the other end, it was Omar Gordon who got on the scorer's sheet. And in this Western Conference clash with
Cochran tonight appearing in his 71st career match with San Antonio FC. He's been with the club all 3 seasons, most consistent there on the back end.
I felt like my whole life I've always had to prove people wrong. Getting cut from the state ODP team when you're 13 because you're too small, and then in your club team you sit on the bench until you're 16 or 17 years old because you're too small. Everything kept referring back to you're too small. There's no better feeling in the world of being able to look at someone that told you no and to be able to say, I told you so. You kind of see it all when you go through times of playing, getting cut, being someone on the field, playing all the time. It kind of gives you a good grasp of where different players are and what their mentality might be. It's definitely shaped who I am. I wouldn't change anything for my career or for how it's gone. Not only have I grown as a player, I think I've grown as a man in terms of being able to deal with anything that I really think that's thrown at me. I think there's a bunch of different ways that you can be a leader. Bring my lunch pail to work every single day, and I try to get better every day. And if I have that kind of mentality and other people see me pushing regardless of what we're doing, that's the kind of leader I want to be. This is my 3rd year here, and to be able to stay in one place and to really grow with it has been a tremendous honor, and it's something that I don't take for granted at all. Every time that I step on the field, I hope that I represent this club and this city. It's a privilege to play for such a passionate fan base. I'm Greg Cochran, defender for San Antonio FC.
Jason Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Oh, what a
We are at Providence Park at halftime in a playoff positioning matchup between Portland Timbers 2 and San Antonio FC, with the sides all square at 1 in what was a very entertaining first half. And with that, we welcome you back into the broadcast booth here at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson and Willie Anderson here with you. Willie, very entertaining first half that saw San Antonio jump out to a lead thanks to a 4th goal from Omar Gordon this season, only to see Foster Langsdorff pick up his 11th of the year and equalize just before the break.
You know, it's been a really good game. You know, I felt sorry for T2. I thought they were the better team. Went 1 down to not a great free kick, but they came back with a great goal, showed a lot of character, and they're playing really well.
Let's go ahead and take a look back at the first half highlights, and we'll start off with Gordon's goal in the 28th minute. Came off a free kick after an Arturo Dispe goal.
He seems to be a bit to the left, and it's going in the right. He's got a long way to go over there. I think he might like to get that back, the goalkeeper. It's still a good free kick. It's not a great free kick.
Gordon curled it around the wall, put it in the back of the net past Alex Mangels. Timbers 2 will have to wait for their next clean sheet, but they did answer back in the 42nd minute as Batista followed through and found Langsdorff back post.
That was a great goal. I love the way watch how he makes room for himself. He's holding his hold, and see how he's leaning back when he knocks that in. That keeps the ball down and keeps it on the floor, and it's a great goal.
We moved to the into first half stoppage time, and it was Eric Williamson that nearly gave T2 the lead thanks to this Nathan Smith cross.
That's a great cross, and that is a thunderous header. A thunderous header. Anywhere else it goes in the back of there, but look at this cross. He whacks it, and look at this header. He throws his full head at it. Oh, what a shame. That could have been the goal of the season.
Yeah, Matt Cardoni certainly will be up for save of the week with that effort with his left hand to parry it over his net. When we look at the first half stats, T2 with a slight edge in possession, and they outshot San Antonio 7-4, already 3 more shots for T2 than they had in the June 2nd loss to San Antonio down at Toyota Field.
Yeah, you know, they're playing really well. If they keep this up, I can see them sneaking a win here.
So with that, Portland Timbers 2 ready to get back to action here as we're just about set to kick off the second half. Gives us an opportunity to let you know that Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Do have one substitution to tell you about here at the break. It is for T2, and it will be Carlos Anguiano in for Eric Williamson. So Eric Williamson's night is done. Not sure if this was just simply a minutes substitution or if something else was at play. But T2 loses an important attacking piece in the 21-year-old Virginia native Eric Williamson, and Carlos Anguiano comes on in his place.
Well, you know, I'm really sorry to see Williamson leave. I thought he was maybe one of the best players for T2 out there in the first half. I thought his attacking play was very good. He was opening things up, making great runs, so I'm disappointed to see him leave. I'd like to think he was injured. So, but what a shame, because and I'm sure he don't feel good about it because he was playing great.
Batista's cross can't curl it enough, and Cardoni just a couple yards off his line easily collects. Got a full beard, does Matt Cardoni, the 25-year-old San Antonio, Texas native. Making his first appearance since July 25th, was a trialist with Orlando City back in 2015. And played with the San Antonio Scorpions after that in NASL, a club that folded when San Antonio FC came into the league in USL. San Antonio FC was awarded their the 31st USL franchise January 7th of 2016. We're an affiliate of NYCFC. They're owned by Spurs Sports and Entertainment, which is why you see that Spur on the logo, as well as those famous black and silver colors. Certainly find it unique and attractive when cities do that, have all their teams have the same colors. Pittsburgh, another city that's known for that. the Steelers and the Penguins and the Pirates. San Antonio doing a little bit of the same as well, as T2 possesses. Max Orn still making his first start of the season. Hasn't had to do much here tonight. Does well to control there off his chest and then play central for Anguiano, who does well to work his way around Cuomo. And Cuomo will pick up a yellow card here early on in the second half. 48th minute, Gianluca Cuomo goes in the book.
He does really well here. I love that. He just goes by him. There's no way he's going to let him go. Look at that. Nearly took his shirt off him altogether. Definitely a yellow card.
Cuomo in his first season with San Antonio made his USL debut June 30th of 2018 against Colorado Springs, and previously played for the Rochester River Dogs in NPSL. So as Chapalo Street writes down Cuomo into the book, Zambrano waits to restart, and there's the whistle from Chapalo Street. He'll play back to Arturo Dizpe. Once again, Portland Timbers 2 looking to vault over Reno 1868 with 3 points here tonight. San Antonio, though, hoping to jump over T2 with 3 points here this evening, as Langsdorff pressures Cuomo into playing it out to touch here on the near side. Quickly thrown in by Batista to Barmby. Barmby, one touch, now into Langsdorff in space in the box. Will try and curl it around Cardoni, but just couldn't get enough bend on it, and in the end, a goal kick.
You know, it's coming down this left side again. Barmby's playing really well. Great little ball in. Oh, and look at that. Oh, really sweet, sweet little bender. Far post, unlucky.
Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. Murphy goes down corner of the box in front of Arturo Dizpe, able to get up, control it, but then Lewis picks off the pass, and T2 have a chance to counter. Anguiano can't control, gets it to Smith, who tries to play Langsdorff ahead of him, but Cuomo able to intercept. Gordon goes down as he tries to dribble around Lewis. Anguiano will be forced to play a major role in this match, playing in the attacking midfield. Big minutes for the youngster, making just his 4th appearance of the season. Started against Real Monarchs back on March 31st, was a sub against Sounders 2 in the season opener. 89th minute sub against Phoenix on August 5th, so he has seen time recently, but a big spot for the 17-year-old from Salem to come into, trying to have an impact. Zambrano plays to Langsdorff. He's got Anguiano out wide. He'll play him. Corner of the box. Anguiano first time cross in. Not much on it. Cleared away momentarily. And now San Antonio releases the pressure. Gordon does well to work his way past Barmby and around Batiste. He'll send the cross in. Mangles, easy work for him, as the late run was coming from Bruce.
You know, we've just been playing 5 minutes and there's gaps all over the field right now. Everybody looks like they're already tired and we've just kicked off. So
flag was up for offside on Loria, who tried to hold his run. The play came too late from Langsdorff, though. San Antonio 9-6-7 on the year, 34 points. 6 changes from the lineup they put out this weekend against Seattle Sounders 2. They are undefeated all time against Portland Timbers 2. Lone point that Portland picked up was back in June of 2016, a 1-1 draw here in Portland. Looking to earn their first victory against San Antonio. Lopez well touched to get around Lewis, plays it off of Lewis and out for a goal kick, or out for a corner kick. Nope, it is a goal kick. Looked like it might have bounced off Lewis last, but in the end it's said to be a goal kick. Take a look. Looks like it might have gone off of Lewis. The question was whether the ball was already out across the end line when it did touch Lewis up in the air on that shoulder.
I think the referee felt like he needed to give us a break there. Maybe he's coming out with a different mindset frame for the second half.
Langsdorff comes back to win the header over Rushendell and eventually controls back to Smith. Now to Ornstill and over to Batista. He has the assist in the first half on the Langsdorff goal. The 20-year-old from Oklahoma City making his 9th start of the season here this evening. T2 happy to possess along the back line and in their defensive half. Now Dispay goes forward, touched on by Loria to Langsdorff. Now Loria, who's been quiet throughout the night, finds Zambrano. Square to Barmby, will take the shot. He hit a knuckler in the first half, didn't quite strike this one right, and it's well high over Cardoni's net.
Yeah, it was a really good idea. He had the time, the space to do it. If he could have hit it a bit cleaner, it could have been really put the goalkeeper under stress, but he got under it and went way too high. But, you know, the good idea, the opportunity was there, why not?
Dummied on by Murphy to Cochran, who's making the run forward. Tries to play off for Lopez, didn't put enough on it. Dispay comes over to find Loria. T2 a chance to build out of the back here. Loria surveying his options, thought about playing Batista, instead played square to Barmby. Barmby attacking at that San Antonio defense, now to Batista in front of King, plays back to Lewis. Lewis has Smith on the far side, instead plays Zambrano. Now we'll play it to Dispay in the center circle, who will go, no, he won't go out wide to Smith. Central is for Zambrano. Zambrano likes to strike from here, will do so, takes the deflection, and T2 have the lead in the 54th minute. Renzo Zambrano opens his account in 2018.
This is a really great, he hits it really well, gets a lucky deflection, flies into the net. You know, he thought, I'm going to have a go, I'm going to give it everything I've got. He does that, and he gets a lucky deflection on the way, but oh, what a pillar of a goal. I love that. Great goal.
Deflected off of Maxi Rodriguez, who tried to block it with his right boot. And T2, with the way they've played, the creativity, the aggression that they've shown tonight, you could say a deserved lead. And they've dug themselves out of a 1-0 hole to take the lead here 2-1. Out wide to Cochran. Does that wake up San Antonio, who's been relatively quiet as of late? His cross in, and easy pickings for Mangles.
You know, I've been thinking about Gordon. He's such a great asset for San Antonio. But if the T2 play down the left, he'll make him work really hard getting back all the time. And maybe he won't have so much left going forward. So that might be a thought.
T2 play back to Mangles. As San Antonio push numbers a bit higher, Nathan Smith making the run over the top. Holds his run a little bit to allow the ball to settle for him. Plays Deloria, corner of the box, central for Anguiano. Now to Barmby, who sets it up on his left foot. Instead plays Langsdorff. Langsdorff thought he was going to shoot. Barmby now back with it. Anguiano out wide to Batista, who's onside. Batista, chance to send the cross in. Mishit it and cleared away by Hedrick. T2 40 goals coming into tonight, 42 now this season. They were 6th in USL coming into the evening and have picked up a couple more already. Strong work on the offensive side of things. Wasn't one of the positive points of the season in 2017, but have certainly found a way to score early and often throughout the course of this season, Willie.
They have, you know, and they're looking really good tonight. But, you know, I was just watching the 17-year-old Argueno. I'm thinking, he's 17. He's got a great touch on the ball. He's got a great head with it, and he's only been on the field 5 minutes. I'm thinking, wow, they know something more than we know up here, because the kid looks like he can play.
Player down on the field right now is Alex Bruce, the forward for Darren Powell's San Antonio FC side, the 19-year-old from Gateshead, England. Not sure what happened, but as you see there, calling for the substitution. So available on the bench tonight for San Antonio, you have Ever Guzman, 4 goals and an assist. He scored in the last 4 matches for San Antonio. Pekka, the midfielder's available. Connor Presley, also a midfielder. Sonny Guadarrama, Jose Escalante, Mike Seth, and the goalkeeper Diego Restrepo. All available for San Antonio, who will make the substitution, and it looks like it will be the Brazilian midfielder Pekka who will come on in place of Alex Bruce, who is slowly working his way off the field. Darren Powell comes over to talk to him, see what's going on, asks him if he can continue, and he cannot. So the Brazilian midfielder Pekka, 29 years old, from Rio de Janeiro, previously with Real Salt Lake, Rayo OKC, will come on.
You know, at the beginning when we were highlighting players and we highlighted Bruce, I thought he was in for a tough night, because, you know, he's up there on his own trying to fight that lonely battle. And, you know, I think he did okay. I can't remember him much, but that's a tough position to play. So, and he looked pretty beat up on the way out. So, good luck to him. 19, the world at his feet, living the dream. How can you beat that?
Yep, Bruce enjoyed his soccer against T2 back on June 2nd, scored against them. Did not have the same success here tonight as we're back to action. Langsdorff plays out for Loria. Loria has an overlapping run from Smith. He'll use him. Smith, first time cross in, picks out Barbie, takes the deflection. Not on frame, though, and Cardoni, who went down to his knees, able to run out and pick that one up. He'll try the long throw out quickly that Loria heads away and Smith picks up.
You know, I think the deflection was Langsdorff. I think he knocked it in the Langsdorff and he got in the way, and it looked like it was on target, looked like it was going for the goal. You know, 3-1, that would have been amazing. But, you know, they're looking really good.
Nearly an hour in here at Providence Park with T2 maintaining a 2-1 lead. Our next break, the hydration air quality break. We'll give you a look at the goals, but here's a look at that last deflected shot.
Yeah, you know, it's a heck of a cross, and he hits it great. Oh no, it was a defender who got in the way. But Barmby does really well, gets it on target. Defender does really well getting in the way, but it was a great move, great cross, and Barmby did a really good job of getting on the end of it. So.
Loria picks out the miss-hit clearance. Barmby, nice touch around to try and find Langsdorff, and then ball from King off the head of his teammate Cochran at close range, and Cochran quickly went down to his knees. You could hear that one from up here, Willie.
You know, I think that's a really good rule. If it's something to do with the head, you blow up right away. Because look at that, ouch. You know, he's seeing stars for a couple of minutes. It's great to stop the game altogether so he can, you know, get to grips with where he's at. I think it's a really good rule.
So we will take the air quality hydration break as both teams will walk over to their benches and talk with their coaches. Well, let's go ahead and take a look back at how we got here. It started in the 28th minute. Omar Golden with the free kick goal.
Free kick, not a great free kick, but it's a free kick. He scores. Why not?
42nd minute, it was Foster Langsdorff who equalized.
Look at the movement. And his finish was great. 10 out of 10, Langsdorff. He did great.
And then T2 a bit lucky in the 54th. Renzo Zambrano shot deflects into the back of the net.
You know, I agree with that. He's a bit lucky, but if you don't take a chance, you never know. And he hit it really well. The opportunity arose, and bingo, he got it.
Zambrano picks up his first goal. Langsdorff his 11th goal of the season. Lamar Batista with the assist on Langsdorff goal. That was his first assist of the season. And that is how we got here. 2-1 in favor of T2 in the 63rd minute now, in the midst of this hydration break, as San Antonio readies their second substitution of the night. As Cochran is up. He will walk over to the sideline here. Have to be waved back on by the training staff. It was Adam Quigley who came over to take a look at Cochran. And the substitution comes from San Antonio. It will be Ryan Rushendell out, the 32-year-old Atlanta, Georgia native, coming off in the 63rd. And Sonny Guadarrama from Austin, Texas, coming on in his place. So 2 of the 3 substitutions used by San Antonio. Portland still with all 3 as we're back to action.
This is a really, really good game. I'm really enjoying this. It's good to watch. There's plenty of great soccer, good skills out there, plenty of grim determination and effort. And you know, it's playing. It isn't getting roughed up. I thought it'd be a lot more physical, but you know, the guys, they're being physical when they need to be, but it's not overly physical. You know, it's a really good game.
It has been back and forth, especially from about the 20th minute on. Really seen the game open up. Not what we expected. San Antonio, a team that likes to chop things up a bit. They have 56 yellow cards to their name coming into tonight, now 58. 328 fouls conceded coming into tonight, as Loria dribbles around a couple defenders, comes in towards the corner of the box, takes the shot. Cardoni mishit the parry, and luckily for him, just rolls or flies across the end line for a corner kick. Second of the night for T2.
This is, I think, brilliant. Watch him. He teases him. teases him in and goes, blows by him. Then he takes it inside so he can't tackle him. And then he hits a stormer. A stormer. A great piece of soccer.
Loria on loan from Deportivo Saprissa in Costa Rica will send this one in, left-footed outswinger towards the penalty spot. Header won by San Antonio and cleared away by Pekka, only as far as Nathan Smith. Smith will play it to Barbie. Now to Loria. Loria plays Anguiano in. Back to Loria. Loria defended by King, takes the shot, can't put it on frame, just to the wide right of Cardoni's right post.
This is a great ball from Anguiano. Oh, that's a good chance. He just loses his footing a little bit. Can't get around the ball. But they're looking really good. They're just opening up San Antonio now all the time.
When we talk about T2, the struggles they've had at home this year, a lot of it has come because they've given up the first goal. They've given up the first goal 5 times in home matches coming into tonight. In those 5 matches, they are 1-4-0. A chance, though, with what they've been able to accomplish over the last 25 minutes to improve that record because of the goals from Foster Langsdorff and Renzo Zambrano. Still plenty of work to be done, though, here in the final 25 minutes plus stoppage time, as Gordon tries to lift it over Batista, trying to pick out Guadarrama. And Portland clears nearly to midfield, right in front of the technical area of Darren Powell. And Langsdorff makes sure it's played out to touch for a T2 throw.
You know where I think T2 are doing really well is wide on the flanks. They're getting people forward. That's where the space is. They're making great runs. I think that's where the part of the game they're really looking good at.
Guadarrama tries a quick knock over the top for Murphy. Mangles quickly off his line, though, to collect. Rolls quickly out to Lewis, who switches the point of attack over to Smith. Smith has Loria in front of him. Instead, slips down and will play square to Zambrano.
You know, Smith's been making some great runs down that right. He's getting in some good crosses.
Great work by Batista to get around King. Now defended by Gordon. Gordon shields him off. Batista gets the last touch to the ball and rolls out for a goal kick.
You know, Gordon's been great going forward, but he's also been tracking back and defending like then. You know, he's doing a really good job for them.
T2 have looked dangerous throughout the course of this second half, and it's come from different players, whether it be Barmby, Loria, Zambrano, Batista, Langsdorf. Questions being asked of San Antonio all over the field.
You know, to me, it's like that youthful enthusiasm, energy is the difference in the teams.
Overlapping run from King. Gordon instead plays through to Guadarrama. Make that Rodriguez, who can't get on the end of it. San Antonio looked to be a bit out of ideas, and Willie, as you mentioned in the first half, anything and everything in the attack is running through Gordon, and there's not much contributions coming from anyone else as of yet. Pekka out wide to Lopez. Lopez under no pressure, cross comes in. Batista touches out and clears in front of Gordon. Settled by Rodriguez. His shot well wide of Mangle's net.
That's a good cross. You know, that's the area you want to put them in. Bending a little away from the goalkeeper, round about the penalty spot. That was a really good cross to attack.
San Antonio, 3 of their next 5 after tonight on the road. T2 into the final 10 matches of the season. The stretch run as Anguiano settles and then is fouled by Pekka, who tried to go shoulder to shoulder with him. Pekka will receive a yellow card, and this will be a dangerous shooting opportunity, pretty much dead on at the top of the half circle on top of the 18.
You know, I'm totally impressed with the 17-year-old Aquino. I think he's playing great. I mean, he's 17. Come on. Love it.
It's what you want to see in that young development. And T2 have been able to do that with different pieces, whether it's Anguiano, Harold Hansen, Lamar Batista, and others. This will be Loria to take. He's been deadly from free kick opportunities. His 38 chances created leads T2, and he'll have a chance to try and get this up and down over the wall to beat Cardoni.
You know, it's in a perfect place for him to take it. He's got time to get it up and down, and he's going to bend it left side. Goalkeeper's right hand side.
Loria strikes it, can't get it down enough. He got it over the wall, but couldn't quite get it down. So tough from that close in to be able to get it up and over the wall, back down on frame.
Yeah, he does a good job getting it over. He just doesn't get it coming down on the other side. So, which is a difficult skill to do, unless you're Ronaldo.
Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. Gordon able to get around Batista, who fell asleep inside his own 18-yard box, and Mangles with the important save. Loria picks it up in the center circle. Heavy touch, but keeps possession. Will play out wide to Barmby on his favored left foot. Prep touch, cross comes in towards the penalty spot, headed on by Cochran, and will roll out to the far touchline.
You know who's really looking good right now is Loria.
You look at Gordon, who got around Batista. I think Batista either was expecting Mangles to come out or thought he had more time and didn't know Gordon was right on his heels. And T2 lucky to escape with no harm done there. Anguiano send the cross in. Langsdorf, like he wasn't really going to be able to get much on that, so he kind of dummied on, and Cardoni was right behind him to collect.
On the right, back right.
Pekka under no pressure. not a good pass central, and easily stolen away by Lewis. Now Zambrano works his way around a couple defenders, plays square to Anguiano. Now out wide to Barmby. Gordon tracking back. Batista steps over at once. Will play back in front of pressure from Gordon. Langsdorff, pressured by Hedrick, plays out wide to Smith in space. Controls with his right boot. Settles in a prep touch. Now cross comes in over the head of Anguiano, who tried to adjust, slipped down instead. Falls to Zambrano, 30 yards from goal. Back out wide for Smith. Pressured by Lopez. Central for Loria. Defended by Rodriguez. Lewis, time and space. Out wide to Batista. Central for Barmby. Now to Anguiano. Tries to slip it through for Langsdorff. It was behind him. Cochran just clears to midfield, and Dispay will pick up to Ornstill.
No, the reason I think T2 are doing really, really well, they're controlling midfield. Every ball that breaks up is loose. Their midfield is winning it, so they're looking really good. Keeping control of the ball.
Barmby lays off for Batista. 74th minute. T2 maintaining a 2-1 lead. Barmby plays it off of Pekka and out to touch. See a bit of frustration from Omar Gordon towards Chapalo Street. Kind of waving him off. Ball thrown in for Barmby, who can't control. Now a San Antonio throw. Pekka only as far as Murphy, who does well to hold up. Play back to Guadarrama. Will play out wide to Lopez. San Antonio pushing numbers forward. Cochran making a big run into the box. Lopez decides not to use him. Instead will take the shot. And that was going to be high every time.
I think, you know, there's people starting to get tired now, especially the players who have to go forward, and they also have to run back and defend. So I think they find it tough right now. This weather's taken out of them. So I think there's going to be chances made before the end of this game, just because people are going to stop chasing people because they're just too tired to do it.
Lopez wins the header out to touch on the far side for a T2 throw. And we're just about to the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time as T2 look to open this homestand with a win. Hedrick controls back to Cardoni. And back to Hedrick. Pekka comes back to pick it up. Out wide to King. King's had a quiet second half so far. He'll play central for Rodriguez. Rodriguez out wide to Lopez. Smith does well to read the header and play it to Loria. Guadarrama comes back to win it in front of Lewis and gain back possession for San Antonio. Likely hydration break coming at our next stoppage. Now Gordon, who's been dangerous all night. Cross comes in, Mangles. Easy stuff for him, though. Well out in front of any San Antonio targets.
Yeah, I think, you know, for T2, they need to be on the ball as much as possible, control it, slow it down, keep possession, take the steam out of it, make San Antonio do all the chasing.
Dangerous pass from Dispay forces an Ornstill clearance across midfield. Anguiano beat out by Pekka, who then takes down Anguiano behind the play. And we will see our hydration break here as we're in the 77th minute. 2-1 in favor of Portland Timbers 2 over San Antonio FC. Well, we mentioned the 5-match homestand that Portland Timbers 2 are starting here tonight. important to begin with a win, but a look at what is coming up. They will play Sounders 2 coming up this weekend in a match at Merlo Field. It was originally slated for a 2 p.m. kickoff, but due to the hot temperatures here in Portland has been moved to 7 p.m. And then after that, a midweek match against Orange County at 7 p.m. at Merlo Field. And then back home, or I should say back to Providence Park for St. Louis FC on September 1st, a Saturday, and then a Sunday matchup on the 9th of September against Tulsa Roughnecks at 2 p.m. here at Providence Park. Willie, tell us how important it is for Portland to get these 3 points here tonight to kick off the homestand.
Well, you know, they're like a development team as well because they're so young, but you've got to develop how to win and how to close games out, and this is the perfect game for that. You're playing against a really good, solid team who are looking good, and you just got to figure out how to win it.
And the game-winning goal could have potentially come earlier on in the second half, as it was Renzo Zimbrano off a deflection who found the back of the net here, Willie.
Yeah, you know, he takes a chance, he hits it really well, gets lucky. And how many times you see that, you know? Somebody whacks it, hits somebody, goes in. You gotta, if you don't take a shot, you ain't going to find out. So.
Renzo Zimbrano's worn that captain's armband. He's been a leader on this team, ranks first on T2 in passing accuracy at 84% and tackles won at 35%. He's made 3 appearances with the Venezuelan men's national team, and he's been a big part of the success that Portland has had this season and why they find themselves in playoff position with 10 matches remaining as we are back underway.
You know, this is a huge 15 minutes here. You know, if they can come out of this winning this game, this will be a huge boon for them over the next 4 or 5.
Here comes Guadarrama. Outside cross. Ends up in a goal kick. Kyle Murphy straight ran into Arturo Dispay, and no foul called by Chapala Street. You could say it's probably because he saw that Murphy got something on it and it was going to be a goal kick. It looked like it actually went off Dispay.
Yeah, you know, he didn't go for the ball. He elbowed him in the head. Pure foul.
When leading after 75 minutes, T2 are 8-1-1 this season and an undefeated 4-0-0 at home. Try to make it 5 wins in 5 tries when leading after 75 minutes at home here tonight. Loria gets through a couple players, is taken down right at the edge of the box. San Antonio not happy about that, but it'll be a sweet spot for Marvin Loria, a place he'll love to take a free kick from.
Yeah, you know, watch him. He goes straight at people. He's at pace. You're going to touch him, you're going to foul him, and that's exactly what they do. They don't mean to do it. They just run into him, and it's a foul. Just like the guy for...
yeah, Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon, you know. He's like that. Gets his head down. You can't get out of the way of them. You give him a foul.
You force contact. You force the official to blow his whistle and make a decision. Loria and Barmby, 2 players who love to strike it on their favored left foot, and this sets up perfectly for either man.
Well, you know, I'm going to put my money on Barmby, and I think he's going to score. I don't know why I say that. I just have this feeling.
Barmby has 4 goals on the season. Instead, will play short, takes the shot, and then Langsdorff puts it wide. He was onside. It looked like training ground stuff from Loria and Barmby to set up Barmby for the shot, and then Langsdorff had the opportunity at the rebound.
It's a really good free kick. Oh, and he had such a great opportunity, but they take it really well. Barmby hits it great, and Langsdorff, oh, what an open chance. He will be screaming at the TV tomorrow when he sees that. But, you know, a really good free kick. Yeah, definitely a training ground one they worked on. It looked really good, and they took it really well.
King springs in. Murphy, first time cross, is blocked by Ornstill, and then Lewis taken down in the box by Murphy as he tried to cut it back.
I thought Lewis did really well there. He kept his head. He got a foul, but he, you know, Anybody else there would have just tried to whack it clear. He kept his head, dragged it back.
This T2 team has gone through a lot of transitions, as we mentioned. Just a couple changes from their last time out, but have had a lot of bodies come in from the MLS Timbers. And when you lack some of that continuity, it can make it difficult to put together and string together results, which has made it even more impressive what Portland has been able to accomplish this season.
You know, and I'll give kudos to the coach and his staff, you know, because they don't know what they're getting from day to day. And, you know, whatever they're getting, they're putting it together and working with it. And tonight, I think they've looked great.
Chapalo Street will call it back for a goal kick, as Cardoni didn't let the ball stop before he kicked it. Stay up to date with the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. Guadarrama settles on the center line. Zambrano just misses out to intercept the pass and send San Antonio forward. Now to Gordon in the box, takes the shot, it's just wide. Mangles was caught out, and Gordon can't put it on frame.
Yeah, I'd like to see if he's offside here. Oh, it's not a good, whoa. But he does really well. I'm glad he put it wide, but, you know, Gordon's been a demon all night. He's been a thorn in their side, and he's played really, really well.
I mean, I think it is fair to say that the only offensive things that have come from San Antonio, moments forward, shots, creativity, have really come from Gordon, or plays that Gordon is involved in with his runs or otherwise, as the third and final substitution will come for San Antonio, and it will be the man who scored in the last 4 matches for San Antonio. Ever Guzman will come on in place of Gianluca Cuomo. And this is San Antonio going for it here in the final 7 minutes plus stoppage time in Portland. Gianluca Cuomo is a center back, Guzman a forward. So the formation will change, and San Antonio will go to 3 in the back as Carlos Anguiano shown a yellow card by Chapalo Street.
They've just pushed 3 up top. So you're right, they're going for it. They're giving it a last 7-8 minute bash here, and just going to give it everything they've got to try and get an equalizer. T2 have got to be smart. They've got to play really with their heads and not their heart. They've just got to be calm, cool, and collected. And don't do anything silly.
Gordon does well to get around Batista, wants a foul call, doesn't get it, is incensed, and Lewis will clear to midfield. Out to touch in front of Cameron Knowles.
Come on, left. Come on, left.
This is going to be a heck of a final 7 or 8 minutes. Hang on to your hats, folks.
A lot of numbers pushed forward for San Antonio as they try and find an equalizer. If Portland can pick up possession, certainly a chance to counterattack, as Zambrano able to get a touch, knock Guadarrama off the ball. Guadarrama steps over Zambrano, who remains down. Loria's ball in the direction of Langsdorff goes wayward, but then Anguiano controls, and he plays it out to touch because Zambrano is down behind the play. Will be interesting to see is if San Antonio does the sporting thing here and gives the ball back to Portland once we get back underway. But right now the concern is Renzo Zambrano, who currently has the game-winning goal, down on the field, and the T2 trainer out to take a look.
Yeah, I thought it may be cramp, but it's not cramp.
Our outstanding camera team gives us a look.
You know, it's a knee to knee, it looks like. Clash of knees. That really, really hurts when you do that. It's like bone on bone. It's you know, it just goes right through you, and it frightens you to death for a while because you think it's really bad, but usually it's just a knock and a little bruise. So.
And I think as a fan, you know, you look at those types of injuries where a player's down grabbing his knee, and almost when you see contact, you prefer to see that as opposed to when a player just goes down without any contact, because that's when you see the ACLs, MCLs, LCLs go out. So, I mean, don't want to speculate, but Renzo Zambrano is back up to his feet, walking under his own power. He will have to come off for the moment, but it does look like he will be able to continue, which is a good sign and a good sight for Cameron Knowles in this Portland Timbers 2 side.
It is. It's great. You know, it really hurts. It's just a knock. You know, a couple of minutes, it goes away and away you go. But I agree with you completely. When you see players going down and there's nobody around them, that's scary.
88th minute now, as T2 still with all 3 of their substitutions available. Have to imagine, if for nothing else, just to burn some time off the clock, that Cameron Knowles would make 1 or 2 here, as Renzo Zambrano is back on the field. Glorious touch, heavy, and he loses out to Pekka. Now Guzman, his first action of the night, able to get the ball over to Murphy, who plays out wide for Lopez. Smith there quickly to pick it up. Weird deflection, and eventually settled by San Antonio. Now to Pekka in an advanced position. He'll play backward and into the center circle for Hedrick. Hedrick to Pekka. Surveying his options. Play central for Guzman. Cochran out wide to Lopez. 3 men in around the box. Cross sent in. Batista doesn't win the header. Gordon, I don't think Gordon expected it to get to him. Batista misjudged the ball, and in the end ends up in a throw for San Antonio. King quickly to take. 1.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Guadarrama into the box. Offside flag comes up on Guzman. Billy Baldwin raised his flag this time as he was able to see that Guzman was offside.
I'm happy about that. Just got to control it now. Don't just kick it long. Try and keep possession. Run the clock down. Play smart.
Rodriguez sends it forward, headed back the other direction by Ornstill, still not settled, and Lewis sends it down to Cardoni, picks it up quickly, and will push numbers forward. Cardoni sends it over midfield, no pressure on Lopez on the far side. Now Loria back to defend. Final 30 seconds plus stoppage time. Have to manage. We'll imagine we'll see 5 or so minutes as Guzman gets his head to it and puts it wide. Ornstill and Dizpay, a bit of miscommunication, and Guzman got an easy, clean header.
You know, that's just lack of concentration, lack of keeping your eye open. You know, he let him drift in, nobody picked him up. He could have easily scored. You've got to play smart.
And we will see 9 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the second half. 9 minutes, we are into it now. No sort of complaint from Cameron Knowles, but that number does seem a little bit large as Langsdorff beats out Hedrick to the ball. Still with it. King comes back shoulder to shoulder, beats out Langsdorff to win back possession for San Antonio.
You know, I've never seen 9 minutes before in my life, but I forget about these breaks for the air control.
Here comes Murphy forward into the attacking third. Now back to Pekka. Pekka will switch the point of attack over to King. King's got 5 assists so far this year, looking for a 6th and an equalizing goal as well. Guadarrama will play it off of Lewis, and it ends up in a corner kick for San Antonio. It'll be their first of the night, and it will come as we cross into the 2nd minute of stoppage time. Lewis took that one in the groin. He's back up to his feet, but he's feeling it a bit. Guadarrama quickly over to take the corner kick. Be a right-footed outswinger. All men forward for San Antonio. Doesn't get by the first man, and it ends up in a second goal corner kick for San Antonio. Orn still complaining. He felt that that came off Murphy, but Chapala Street saw it come off Orn still. Quickly taken in short, floated in towards the penalty spot, headed away by Batista. Dispay tries to quickly come out and win it. He takes down Cochran sliding out, and now Gordon has it at his feet. Langsdorf does well to win it. Break could be on here for Portland if they hurry. Lewis with it at his feet. Plays to Zambrano. Zambrano well touched to get around 2 men. Will settle. Play to Batista. 4v4 if T2 hurry. Barmby has Loria. Will use him. Loria will play back to Batista. Smart move by Loria, the player on loan from Deportivo Saprissa. And T2 earn a throw. Lopez throws the ball off Batista in frustration. Interesting there. If you're San Antonio, you're giving the ball to T2 as quickly as you can. You want this ball back in play. We're into the 3rd minute of stoppage time of the minimum 9. Guadarrama and Batista now chest to chest. Darnell King comes over and shoves Batista back to the touchline.
You know, Batista should have none of that. He should just walk away. There's nothing he can do. There's 5 minutes, it's whatever minutes to go, and he's wanting to cause trouble. Just walk away, keep your head, and let them lose theirs.
To play devil's advocate, though, he just burned 25 more seconds because Chapala Street had to come over and talk to both players.
Maybe there was method in his madness.
Try to give the 20-year-old some credit, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're back to action after the ball rolled across the end line for a San Antonio goal kick. Forward for Guzman. Dispay there first. Able to shield, and it ends up in a goal kick.
Ah, there we go.
So we'll see the first substitution of the night for T2. It'll be Augustine Williams coming on for the man who picked up his 11th goal of the season tonight, Foster Langsdorf, in the 42nd minute. Found the back of the net with his left boot. Langsdorf off after 90 minutes plus. Willie, your assessment of his performance?
You know, it was a great goal. He deserved it, but his work rate's amazing. This is it. You watch his speed, trying to find room in the box. It was great. Love it. He deserved it. He never stopped working.
Anguiano fouled by Rodriguez. Augustine Williams, the San Diego, California native, 20 years old, has 4 goals and 2 assists this season in 21 appearances now. As Anguiano earned the foul, restarted. Barmby tried to head around King, could not do so. Out to touch, quickly thrown in by San Antonio to Gordon. Gordon, well done to get it around Lewis to Guadarrama. Smith back to clear straight up into the air. And Batista heads out to touch. Nearly through 5 minutes of the added 9 here at the end of this match. King works his way, trying to get around Batista, and Batista cuts off his progress and is called for the foul. Important moment here. Can T2 defend the set piece? There will be 6 men in the box for San Antonio. Rodriguez will strike it with his right boot. This will be a cross in from Rodriguez, as we're 5.5 minutes through the minimum 9 at the discretion of Chapala Street. Towards the back post. Header won by Batista, and out to touch on the far side near the corner flag. Murphy over to take. T2 react quickly, and it'll be a long throw into the box. Headed away by Lewis. And then Augustine Williams does well, but is outraced by Gordon as he was coming the other direction. 3 minutes left for San Antonio to find an equalizer. Gordon Back to Pekka. Pekka the long switch, instead goes central. Header won by Ornstill. Ornstill goes down in a heap, no foul called. Played out into space for Lopez. Lopez, right-footed cross. Header won by Ornstill. He was behind Rodriguez, not sure how much he knew about it, but important that Rodriguez didn't get anything on that. It's another corner kick, the third of the night for San Antonio.
This is a good cross, and he didn't know much about it, Ornstein, but he did a
Lopez
great
sends the
job.
ball in, headed on, but not on frame. Kyle Murphy could not put it on frame for San Antonio. It was an open header at the penalty spot, and nearly another equalizer for San Antonio.
You know, they're hitting really good balls into the box, which make it difficult to defend, so they're a good team.
Now just 2 minutes left. Can T2 kill off this match, pick up a second consecutive victory, and move in front of Reno 1868 into 5th place in the Western Conference? Batista wins the ball around Gordon. Now to Barmby, 4v3 of T2 hurry. Carlos Anguiano plays out wide for Loria. Loria has Williams, instead will take the shot, blocked by Cardoni, and cleared away by San Antonio. Will it work its way across the end line? No, great work to hustle back by Rodriguez to pick that one up in the far corner. San Antonio looking to counter. This one up in the air. Ornstill does well in front of Guzman, but loses out to Guadarrama. Shot comes, Alex Mangels down to his right with the save. A minute left. Lewis plays out to touch. And Lewis remains down after that clearance. He'll get back up to his feet. Looks to be okay. King will have to walk back to take the throw. He will throw in for Hedrick. 30 seconds left at the discretion of Chapalo Street. Long switch, header won by Smith. Out for a San Antonio throw. Into the final 15 seconds. Hedrick, the only player other than Cardoni in his own half. King, 5 seconds of the added 9 left. Pekka, out wide for Cochran. Now all bodies forward for San Antonio. Can they get something into the box? They did it against T2 earlier this year. Smith comes over to win the ball. Zambrano a chance to clear, will do so. Finds Augustine Williams, who does well to control hold-up play. Tries the long switch over to Barmby. Chapalo Street looking at his watch, and the whistle blows. T2 erased a 1-goal deficit tonight and picks up a second consecutive victory to move above Reno 1868 into 5th place in the Western Conference and kick off this 5-match homestand in grand fashion, avenging a June 2nd loss to San Antonio FC tonight, 2-1. Willie, your thoughts on what we saw?
Great game. They deserve to win it. You know, they showed character, skill, determination, heart. They give it everything they've got. They deserve to win. It was a great way to start a big home run like this. Good for them. Their confidence should be really good right now.
Just the 3rd time all year they've won when giving up the first goal. And here is a look at that first goal. Omar Gordon with the free kick.
Yeah, it's a free kick. I'm not going to say a lot about it. I thought he could have done better, that's all.
He was able to curl it around the wall with his right boot. Mangels got a touch to it with his right paw, but couldn't keep it out of the back of the net. That gave San Antonio a 1-0 lead in the 28th. 14 minutes later, it's Foster Langsdorff who got on the end.
This is really good. Watch how he controlled it. He hold it. He gives it away right at the right time. And then Langsdorff just really hits it really well. Keeps it down. Look at him finding his space. Look, give it me. And he keeps it down. Plays it away from the goalkeeper. Great goal.
We went to the break, all knotted up at 1, and into the second half, the 54th minute, it's Renzo Zambrano off the deflection.
Yeah, you know, if you don't take your shots, you're never going to score. And he takes it, gets lucky with a break, and it flies in. Great goal, you know, and look at this, he whacks it, and it flies in. It may have gone in if he'd not got deflected, but hey, we'll take it.
Zambrano's first goal of the season gets the job done here tonight for T2. Well, it's a quick turnaround. Portland will be back in action at Merlo Field this coming Sunday against Seattle Sounders 2 at 7 p.m. The second of the 5-match homestand, looking to beat Seattle Sounders 2 for the second time this season. For our entire broadcast team, my broadcast partner Willie Anderson, I'm Fletcher Johnson. Trust you enjoyed the result here this evening. Portland Timbers 2 on the back of goals from Foster Langsdorff and Renzo Zambrano get the result tonight over San Antonio FC. 2-1 it finishes at Providence Park. We'll talk to you Sunday night for more Portland Timbers 2 soccer here in the Rose City. Have a great night.